for my city, I'm the realest one that's reppin'. Oh my God, if I die, I'm a legend when they lay me.
Hello guys, this is Maniac Ruby here, and we are going to be doing a community review of the AF-4 Cyclone. Now, a community review is not as a standard review of a weapon, it's going to be more of an opinionated review of a weapon. And that is basically going to be covering how the community thinks of the weapon and the specifics of how you can play it or how the community likes it. So it's not like your traditional review, but we're gonna get started here. The AF-4 Cyclone is a SMG conglomerate faction. It has a fire rate of 652 rounds per minute with a muzzle velocity of 360 meters per second. It can be used by all classes except for the max. It has a 0.75 ADS movement multiplier when aiming down sights. Max damage is 167 before 6 meters and 100 after 46 meters. I don't know how many shots that is to kill, but I'm going to assume that it is pretty fast at short range given the damage. I haven't used the AF-4 Cyclone much myself, but I have heard very positive review. The short reload is 1.855 seconds short, and the long reload is 3 seconds. The magazine size is 25 rounds with an ammunition pool of 175 rounds. Crouch and still accuracy is 1 with a 0.3 ADS. Moving is 1.25 while crouching and 0.3 as it was if you were still while crouching. Standing still is 1.3. Moving and standing is 1.5 from the hip and 0.03 when aiming down sights. The bloom per shot is 0.06 when both hip and the recoil is 0.24 vertical, 0.212 slash 0.304 horizontal. The horizontal tolerance is on cost you 1,000 certs or 699 Gabriel cash. Now, the AF-4 Cyclone is one of the first generation SMGs, meaning that it was the first SMG to come out for the new conglomerate faction, and has been very, very positively seen by the community because of its use while infiltration and also by light assaults because of the outstanding Hipfire that the weapon offers. Aiming down sights will also offer you a 0.75 ADS, which will be kind of good for cutting corners as a light assault or as a infiltrator, because most new conglomerate weapons have a 0.5 movement ADS multiplier, which makes while aiming down sights harder and will make you much slower, which increases your chances of being shot by the enemy. Now, I have seen many heavy assaults use the AF-4 Cyclone because of how much maneuverability it offers, and I would actually recommend this weapon. But some LMGs like the Anchor will also offer great close quarters options. Same with the Combat Medic, the Carnage AR and the GD22 are both great close quarters alternatives for the Cyclone. But if you're looking for a class to mainly play this weapon on, what you want to do is you want to play Infiltrator or Light Assault. That's where the weapon really shines. Now, when using this weapon, the preferred attachment options, actually here, I'm just going to list all the options. You have 1 through 4x sights. You have suppressor, flash suppressor, and compensator. Dark light flashlight, advanced laser sight, foregrip, and extended mags, and soft point ammunition. Now, for recommended certs, what you want to do is you first want to get your soft point ammunition, because this weapon is very close quarters and you will find that your it will buff up your minimum damage range by, I believe, 4 meters, which is going to make this weapon really good at taking out enemies. The reduction of muzzle velocity, but since this weapon is very close quarters, you won't have very much problems with the longer ranges. And if you want to fight at longer ranges, then you should probably be using a weapon. Your second cert up should probably be extended mags, because the AF-4 Cyclone has such a small magazine. You're going to be reloading often, and sometimes enemies may take advantage of this, get you off guard. So extended mags is a great idea, but advanced laser sight is also optional if you're good at your fire discipline and bullet economy. If you're running the mag attachment for your class where you can get extra mags, that might help out. Want to use the advanced laser sight, but I'd say just run the extended mags because your hipfire is already extremely good. As for the barrel attachments, you can run the suppressor, but it will increase your hipfire, cone of fire, reduce the bullet velocity even more if you've been soft point ammunition. I mean, why not? Suppressor is an okay option. I mean, you're going to be close quarters. The decreased muzzle velocity won't hurt you. The increased cone of fire may or may not. It just depends on what range you find yourself fighting at. But flash suppressor is also a great idea at nighttime, especially if you're going to be playing infiltrator, because you'll be spotted way more easily. And same thing, it will make your shots scatter a bit more, but then again, this is a close range weapon, so both of those are viable options. As for your sight, I would go with either the 1x reflex or the HRNV scope, because if you want to aim down sights, it's probably not going to be too often, but you're going to be aiming down sights when you find. Or if you're at night and you get better. Alright, and go. But both of those are good ideas. But still, ADS is a good way to fight with this gun. Is fighting at longer range. Waited to do because it still has that ADS fire that will keep you moving and keep your enemy shots from hitting you. So as for playing this gun, I think I've already mentioned a lot. You want to hip fire a lot, and you also want to be close with your enemy. Speed of the distance, I would suggest running good option if you're playing light assault. If you want to use smoke grenades, like let's say there's a building you want to clear yourself to, and you happen to have your NV scope on that sees through smoke, you clear your smoke grenade and inside the building. And if you think you can clear that distance without them knowing, you can use ADS, keep yourself, moving, and shoot people that aren't suspecting it before running out the way you came in or the way you left. I mean, the back door. Every building has a good option and found it just get there fast enough. If you're going infiltrator, I suggest that clear the distance. With infiltrator, clearing the distance is hard because if you try to use your cloak, they will see through it and you can't fire while you're cloaked. Also, if you are uncloaked, they'll see you even more, and they're a very, very squishy class, so you'll probably get mowed over. But if you're going to clear distance, I suggest trying to get up the side of an enemy building or just running it out, because one of the best ways you can get up close to the enemy as an infiltrator is if you act like you're in friendly lines, run around, never stop moving. A good thing to pair this gun with would be bouncing Bettys or proximity mines. Those are great options. Just decloak, plant one of those in a nice crowded spot. You get yourself like 4 kills, and you can clear off the wounded survivors with your Cyclone. Besides that, the only other option probably going to play is heavy assault. Heavy assault, you also want to not. You can run around a lot. You cannot stop moving. You can get up close to the enemy. blow a few rounds in their face before pulling out your shield if they happen to get the drop on you. You can also use this to outmaneuver enemies in a building. You can run around with your overshield on a few times, run into a room, get off a few shots in a guy who's watching a staircase, jump out while you're reloading, and watch the doorway for anybody who's pursuing you. Those are just my options for running this gun. Besides that, there's other ways I've seen people run this, but for me and for people who are just starting out to use, they don't seem very viable options. Now, Cyclone's comparison with its brother, the Blitz. Cyclone has a smaller magazine and lower rate of fire, but it does more damage than the Blitz, and the Blitz also has a longer reload and a bigger magazine size. I would still prefer the Cyclone, and this is a personal preference because I like that extra damage over the Blitz. I have used both. I just gotta say, I like the damage that the Cyclone puts out. Running extended mags is an absolute must if you want to start out using this as time and time again. But if you find that too much of an inconvenience for you, the Blitz is a great option with rounds in its magazine. Larger ammo pool, I think. So besides that, I don't have much more to say about the AF-4 Cyclone. I hope you found this review helpful in way, shape, or form. Hit that like button if you liked it, or if you didn't like it, hit that unlike button and leave it a in the comment section. Subscribe button when it hurt at all. And have fun.